What's going on, guys? Nick here. This is going to be another rapid signals review video. I'm just going to take two trades from this past week, kind of break them down, show you guys how we got these trades, how we analyzed them, and how we got to putting them out into the channel. Okay, so first we're going to start off with US 30, then we're going to jump over to USD CAD and cover both of these. So back to US 30, this was a 4-hour trade. So we were trying to ride the 4-hour trend here. We had seen that we were in an area of consolidation. We've seen a lot of rejection before. So a reversal was, expected. And we were seeing those confirmations and we saw a trade. We lined it up and took that entry. So let's walk through that, right? The September 1st entry at 822 was a US 30 sell at 35,490. Stop loss was 35.65, 1,600 pip stop loss. And then we had two TP levels at, respective support levels. So all the way down here, major level at 38,490. And then we had another potential level to take profit at 35.44. So we took this trade still within the range. We're going to jump to the chart and get into that in a second. But this was a 3+ to 1 risk reward. It was actually 3.75. So huge, closer to 4 to 1. A pretty big trade. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here was the entry, September 1st, 822. Again, at the top of the range here, as you guys can see, right? Nice range, resistance at 35.5, support at 35.25. And it was likely that it was going to reverse, especially from what we were seeing. Nice confirmation, lower time frame, lower high, good rejection candle that we then entered on. And even if this was just a range trade, we would have taken profit off of this, still would have been a good trade. It just was high probability that we were going to see that reversal. And we did. So pushed lower, played within the range a little bit more, pulled back quite a bit, would have incurred some drawdown, but still held, still ranged, and then finally broke. Bearish momentum stepped in, pushed through the bottom of the range at 35.25, and then just kind of dropped all the way down to our final TP level. So again, well over 3 to 1, 3.75, risk 1,700 pips, got about 6,000. Really great trade here on US 30. And that's nice to see. So, we're mixing it up a little bit. We're going to cover some indices as well as currencies going forward because there's a lot of signals being given out. And, this was a great one. Good highlight for this past week. All right, so let's move over to our next pair, USD CAD. This is a 1-hour trade. So we're trying to ride a lower time frame trend and catch a nice reversal. We're actually at a low point over here. We're seeing some consolidation pattern and then higher lows. So we caught a nice entry here on September 6th at 116. It was a UCAD buy at 1.245 or 254. Stop loss was at 1.249. So we're risking 60 pips. And we had two levels to take profit at. We're expecting it to pull back quite a bit because it had a lot of room to run. Final TP was at 1.264, and we had another level at 1.259. So this was a 2 to 1 risk reward. Pretty good trade. But let's just jump over to the chart and take a look at it. Again, it was a lower time frame. Take a look at the 1 hour, right? So this happened pretty quickly. But let's just jump to the chart. All right. So it's best to understand this if we zoom out a little bit, because we are still technically riding a trend here, even though it is lower time frame trend, lower time frame trade. We still have higher time frame support levels coming into play here. Price action dipped all the way down after it was consolidating for a little bit. Through price action dropped all the way down to 1.29 and 1.249. This is where this wick went into, and what did we see in the past, right? A lot of rejection. We knew this was a massive support level, so we were only looking for really a few confirmations to give us confidence that this was going to reverse, right? And we actually saw that right in here. Price action was pushing up, right? We broke minor levels in here. It looked like a nice reversal. We entered in this area, waiting for the conviction to kind of follow through after that entry, but we got a little bit of a pattern here, and then a continuation finally, and then it kind of never looked back, right? Kind of just shot all the way back into this range towards the high at 1.264. That's exactly what we wanted. Really good trade here, and it actually went much higher. Obviously, you can tell, but very logical trade. Didn't really choose any unrealistic targets. Was just looking to play back into this range, back up to previous, resistance levels. So did exactly that. We caught that reversal. Really good trade. And yeah, that was another 2 to 1. So two good trades out of rapid signals here. And guys, there were quite a few trades. I mean, this could be an hour-long video if we really wanted to go over every single one. But these are two of the best. Just something that you can expect from the Rapid Signals channels. Again, it covers currencies, indices, gold. We're kind of covering a whole bunch of different things in there. So interesting stuff. Two great trades. And yeah, it's another review, guys. So take care.
What is going on, everybody? Hope you are all doing well. We're back with another Signals review. So Nick went over a few pairs. I'm going to go over one pair in particular, GJ. This was a trade that was given last week inside of the Rapid Signals room on August 25th. So actually 2 weeks ago, but it was held through last week. The original position was taken at 157.40. So let's just go over why we got into this trade and how you guys can actually replicate this trade in the future. So I'm just going to start on the weekly time frame. As you can see, this thing hit take profit late last week, ended up going for about 1.67 risk reward right there. Or let's actually adjust this. I didn't get the full extent of the move, or I didn't move the stop loss, right? So stop loss was at 150.20. So this is the actual risk reward, 3.25 risk reward here. See how much of a difference that makes. I had the stop loss originally down here before the signal. It was actually given out around 150.020, which is right here. So about a 2.45 risk reward ratio on this one, guys. So definitely what we're looking for with our trades. This is a swing trade, so this did go on for, let's see how long. Went on for 15 days and 20 hours, guys. So a long trade, 2 weeks on the hold on this one. Let's just start on the weekly time frame, talk about what is going on this time frame. So on the weekly, we clearly have broken to the upside on GJ. So GJ had this long push upwards, then we had this pullback, then we had another leg up. Obviously fairly weak in here, and then we started on this little downtrend about couple months ago, 2 months ago. We started descending to the downside. You can clearly see on the weekly time frame breaking this higher low right here. So we had the break pushed all the way down into the support level, which we will go over in 1 second. Then price pulled back to retest the resistance, which is this level right here. You can look left and you can see how it retested it. Then we pushed lower. Then we pulled back again, and now we're retesting this level. So this week, look out for shorts on GJ, but for now, we're still, going to just go over why did this move happen? Why did we anticipate this move? Guys, two things on the weekly time frame here. Look at this wick, and then look how this formed that new lower low. So before this even happens, let's just take a look. Before this right here even happened, we'll go one candle forward. Price had this big push to the downside. Boom, push to the downside right there. Closed, wicked in this area. So we had a push to the downside. We never want to sell at a low, right? So this is a lower low. So we are anticipating the lower high to be made. We're anticipating there to be some sort of pullback because of the fact that this is now overextended. And then we're also down in this support area now. So price has retested this area not once, not twice, 3 times, and now we're back into this area. And if we were to go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see whenever I'm looking for potential reversals, I'm always looking to see, are we in a zone where price has reversed at previously? And clearly you can see here, price sped off to the upside off of this level. Sped off to the upside off of this level, sped off on this level. So when price comes back into this area, it is very highly likely that price will reverse and it'll shoot back up to the upside. So we want to be very mindful of that. So with that in mind, the 4-hour clearly in a downtrend, but we're just at this low. So the probability of this thing again shooting up, two things here. We have this bullish kind of candlestick formation at the bottom, but we're just in this liquidity zone. I highlighted this. This isn't exactly, the exact zone. We can adjust it a little bit more, bring it up here, whatever. But long story short, this is an area, again, where we can even go ahead. I'll bring on some arrows here. We could just see price took off, took off. Even right here, price took off to the upside. Right there. And then obviously this area really went nuts. Come on. There we go. So this area really went nuts. So we've got 4 areas. I mean, we could even go as far back to say, like right here, price actually went to the upside as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas. And then this was the 4th or the 6th area where we were looking at. You know, price came up very aggressively, opened the week extremely bullish to the upside. And then we had this minor level of resistance form. Price was fighting this area. And then ultimately, the trade was actually taken right in this area. So it was taken right on this break and retest on a lower time frame. So if we're looking at it like this on the 4 hour, it's like, oh, this doesn't look like that good of an entry. You know, we have some wicks going on, everything like that. But pretty much because of the fact that we had the strong reversal off of this area, what we were looking for at this point is once price was here, we were just looking for a break and retest of this level in anticipation that this thing was going to start to move. Again, look at the weekly back up to test this weekly high right here. That's pretty much where our final targets are at this point. So coming down to like the 30-minute time frame and even the 15-minute, we can clearly see that this time frame shifted into an uptrend, forming these higher highs and higher low points. And then we can see right here, we had this higher low point form, which ultimately was tested. And then pretty much this is what I'm talking about, the resistance level. So we had this higher low then form. So we have consecutive higher lows forming. So we have, let's bring this back. So we have this breaks, you know, we're to the downside at this point. We could even move this down to this area. This breaks, we retest, go to the upside, break and retest, go to the upside, break and retest, and then pretty much looking for the same exact thing. Here, remember, this is our more important resistance level based on the 4-hour time frame. So ultimately, that's what we're looking to break to get that momentum to really start to shift. And then you can see right over here, let's go ahead and just highlight this. We have this little zone, which ends up doing a very classic break and retest. And just to outline it for you guys a little bit more clearly, this is basically what I'm talking about. We have the break and retest right here. So we have that. We could even just highlight it right here. We've got price shoots up, comes down, shoots up, then we can just hide this. So that's exactly what we are looking for. Break, retest, coming all the way down to the 15-minute. You could even get a little bit more clear of a picture, and then ultimately the entries should have came in this area right there. That would have been the best area to enter in. Now, say you didn't get in on the trade in that area, where could you have potentially re-entered? Say you saw the signal late, whatever. Let's see if there was actually a pullback and go over where you guys could have potentially entered this trade again. So as we can see, price came all the way down to retest. And let's bump back up to the 4-hour, because what we're seeing here on the 4-hour time frame is this is actually a more comfortable area to take this trade at. We're seeing price moving to the downside, making this low, lower high right here, low, lower high, and then we have the break, retest. Look how this candle ends up closing right here. We have a morning star. There is a wick, but this is more like an inverted hammer candle, a bullish signal. And then as you can see from there, this thing starts to take off to the upside, and this is very clean structure right here, just breaking that higher high right here, retesting it as a higher low. Even move this down a little bit. So just continuing to form this bullish structure over and over again. And then ultimately, late last week, we had the retest. Got a little choppy, and then this thing ended up hitting our final TP. So that was a trade with GBP JPY. It was given last week inside of the Rapid Signals room, or should I say 2 weeks ago. Again, here it is right here, given August 25th, and ended up hitting our 2-to-1 risk reward. going back over the results, guys, from that I posted inside of the Telegram. If you guys haven't seen it yet, check out the YouTube video that shows the results for August. Literally crazy gains. There are going to be losses, though, guys. There will be losses. So make sure you're covering those losses with your wins. Use the right risk reward or lot size. Use the right risk on every single trade. Risk 1%. That's what we suggest. And you guys should definitely make some money with it. So hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.